righty. I am here with Miss Amy Stevens. Amy has been with us for over a
Hmm.
year and a half. How
Just
long?
over a year.
Just over a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Like last, yeah,
December.
like just before. Okay. Yeah. Just around the holidays. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so Amy's been with us for just over a year and she has seen some awesome progress. She did a marathon in October
Yeah.
and she is currently training for another marathon in April, which we are super stoked about. Amy, do you want to just share a little bit about your experience in this program so far and some things that you've learned maybe about yourself and about your body?
Sure. Yeah, I would love to. I tell anyone and everyone who wants to hear about it
Good.
constantly. For me, I turned 40 and it just kind of put me in a moment of where do I want to go from here? I know where I've been, I know what I've done, but what do I want the next part of my life to look like? And I started to notice that if I wasn't actively working on something, I would lose it. I like just balance and longevity, just feeling good working in the yard or, squatting down to pick up leaves off the lawn. And I mean, things were just, if I was not actively doing something, things were becoming harder for me to do. And that was kind of a wake up call because I wasn't old. I didn't feel like I was in terrible shape. I didn't feel like I was super overweight. And so I felt I was feeling good about myself. But at the same time, I knew if I don't start doing something, I'm going to lose what I have, um, which I hadn't worked out really steadily for at least 2 years at that point. So it was kind of like, all right, this is what happens when I do nothing. Now I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
so um, at first, I loved just the setup of the program, having the communication every day, the weekly check-ins, the workout that's tailored for me and what I can do. I also loved that I could just do it here in my basement with very minimal equipment. And I mean, I couldn't do a push-up, so I'd do them on my knees. And it'd be like, do 8 to 10 push-ups, and I would do four.
Yeah.
And I'd do squats and my butt and my legs would just kill for days. But then it slowly, the next month it's like, oh, I'm not in pain anymore when I try
Yeah.
to do that workout, or 5 pound weights are feeling really light, or, just those little things started to add up. And, or I think like, well, maybe I'll just try to do one more push up today and see what happens. Oh, that's not even that hard. So I think I started to realize that I was stronger than I thought I was, and I was capable of more than I realized I could do. And it started to get really motivating because I'm not at the gym with someone yelling at me. I'm not, trying to work out against anything. Like it's just me in my basement. That's it. I mean, what's my excuse?
Yeah.
There's no excuse. So, well, and then just the fact that I had the support was huge. Because I've always wanted to have a trainer or someone that could help me, but it's as a mom, it's not easy to go to the gym, be surrounded by, all these hot mom working out. And
Yeah.
whatever, just the environment can be really intimidating. And so, um, working out at home, doing it on my own, was really motivating because I'm just trying to beat what last week was. That's it. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
improve from last week. And then slowly over time, I remember standing in the kitchen and my son, who is a teenager, walked in and he said, I was wearing a tank top because I just worked out. And he
Mhm.
walked in and was like, Mom, look at your arms. And that was something that I hadn't, I mean, I was taking the pictures every week, but I wasn't sitting there
Yeah.
and he totally, that was 4 months in, and he noticed a
Mhm.
difference. He was like, wow, whatever you're doing, like, good job.
That's so
And
awesome.
so then I started to notice, like, oh, yeah, I guess my arms are looking a little better and, things are improving. And then suddenly I'm just feeling good all the time.
Yeah.
So at first, the workouts, I mean, sometimes they would kind of wipe me out. Like I would go lay on the couch for at least an hour and just kind of get feeling better, and then, okay, I'm gonna go do the dishes or whatever it was I needed to do
Yeah.
that day. And then suddenly I realized, oh, I can just move on with my day. I don't have to sit there and lay on the couch and, recover, because it was just getting easier and I was constantly just feeling a little bit better every
Yeah.
day. And that was the biggest game changer for me, because um like I said before, what you just don't feel good when you're not moving your body. You just, at least I wasn't. I mean, everyone's woken up and been like, gosh, did I sleep wrong? What is wrong
Yeah.
with my back? Something is always wrong. And it just seems like doing even a little bit of something physical every single day helps everything. It really does. It just helps everything. It helps me sleep better, um, helps me feel better throughout the day. I can get so much more done now, honestly, just because I'm working out consistently.
Yeah.
I can get more done. I can go to the grocery store and come home and I'm not exhausted.
Yeah.
um, I mean, every mom, most women know, like there's just that exhaustion that you have all the time. There's so much to do. You don't have time to work out.
Yeah.
But I can't believe the amount of energy that I have just from consistently working out.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, I'd say that's
Yeah. No, I love it. I like what you said at the end. And it's almost like you don't have time to not work out. Like
yeah,
you can't give that up because then you lose time.
yeah,
Um, I really like that. And yeah, you definitely have seen so much progress with strength and definitely with energy. And then with starting to take on bigger goals, like wanting to run a marathon, which is awesome. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience with training for and running your first marathon, and then why you've decided to do the second one?
yeah. It's something that I just always wanted to do. I ran cross country in high school, but it's really intimidating. It is a terrifying thought.
Big thing.
um, I had done a few half marathons and that was doable, but it was like, hey, I turned 40. Am I going to do it this year before I turn 41? Like, it was just that moment. Like, I'm working so hard on myself in so many ways. And I feel so good that I can't not try. I need to try. I have to try. And also with your help, that was huge. It is such a scary goal to say, I'm going to do this, but having someone walk you through it is, and support you every step of the way is huge.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it was just every week, just, I remember I would message you and say, like, it did not go well. Like, I did not feel that great. That run did not feel good.
Yeah.
But it was like, you just have to keep going.
Okay.
And it's getting over the mental part of it as well. And continuing to, you have to believe in yourself to make something like that happen. And um, amazingly, I did get to doing it. I did it on October 1st, and my goal was just to do it. That was it. And I did. And I was really surprised that actually afterwards, I didn't feel as horrible as I thought I would.
Yeah.
Like, I had a moment of, I probably could have run a little bit faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having that feeling afterwards made me realize, okay, I got to do another one because I really need to see if I can do a little better. It's kind of a new addicting thing for me because it is
Yeah.
such a
Running
challenge.
gets like that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that was a huge accomplishment for me. And I think part of it was just having that foundation where even when I started running regularly, it was probably in May last year, it was
Yeah.
not as hard as it was a few years before. It felt so much better than it had before. And I could not believe the difference that it made. Just having the foundation of having some weight loss plus some muscle gained, it was such a huge realization, like, wow, all these things that I'm doing consistently, sometimes it's only 20 minutes a day for my workout. It's not even a huge
Not
time
crazy.
commitment. Yeah. And sometimes it's 3 times a week and that's it. And then adding running into that, I couldn't believe that I still felt really good all the time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, yeah, and you've crushed it with that training and with with marathon training or any big training like that when we're training for something, there's definitely like you can't do it perfectly. And we can't do anything perfectly. We can never hit our workouts perfectly. We're never gonna be able to do that. And I know we talk about this a ton in this program, but when we get into that all or nothing, I have to be perfect or I'm not going to do it at all mindset, we start to pull ourselves back and we definitely self-sabotage a little bit when we do that. And when yeah, when you're training for a marathon and like you said, when you're like, that run wasn't good. It's like, but you did it. You did what you could and you were prepared for the marathon. Training like that, it doesn't have to be perfect to prepare us. And so I like that, yeah, a lot of those points that you brought up. And I'm super excited for your next marathon. I think it's gonna be super fun for you. And you'll be able to see, yeah, improvements and differences, and you kind of know a little bit more what to expect with the training, and
Mhm.
that's a process for sure. So super excited about that. I really loved your comment that you made at the beginning about your son and the difference that he saw in you two when you were wearing the tank top in the kitchen. How do you feel like this program has affected your family and home life and your life outside of health and fitness? How do you feel like it's affected that?
So I have had a major realization about me personally, and I have realized that I have a nervous energy, and
Okay.
um, it completely takes care of that. And so I don't get antsy. I don't get um, like I used to feel a lot of times like, "Ah, I just want to get out of the house. I need to go do something." I
Yeah.
don't feel that way because when it's time to rest, I feel ready to rest and relax because I have done my workout for the day. It just puts me in such a different mindset
Yeah.
altogether. I'm already a pretty calm person, but it just brings me a different sense of calmness that I think affects my whole family. So I think that's been really, really good. And I get my outside time, I get my workout time, and then I'm ready to be whatever I need to be to everyone else.
Yeah.
And, whatever it is that day. I can do it because I've already put in the time for myself. And the other thing is, yeah, my kids have both been working out consistently. We used to work out together. Now our
Yeah.
schedules don't, we can't do that all the time, but it's been really motivating for everyone in my family, just getting out more um, and just being consistent with what we're doing. And then it also just kind of naturally leads into eating better and wanting to eat better and making healthy meals together. That's something that we've done a lot of over the past year. And rather than me just making every meal, everyone kind of wants to help out and have some input. And I mean, I don't think I've ever cooked more in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like but I also have two teenagers.
Yeah, they can help.
Um, but I mean, we eat it all. Like all the healthy food I make, we eat it. And so I think that has helped all of us as well. Just we've naturally done less, snack food, junk food. Because when you're putting in all that work, you don't want to fill your body with junk. It just doesn't feel
True.
good. It doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
that's so
So
true.
yeah, it's been a really positive change for I think everyone in my family. And in addition to that, I started doing this because my sister Stephanie and I've
She's
also
a
had
rock star.
I've also had some other family members that are, um, getting excited about getting in shape and, you know, getting into the next part of life, not feeling like you're a wimpy mom, housewife type thing. It's just motivating to feel like, hey, we can go and do stuff. We don't have to be old. We can go on hikes. We can have energy, and it's kind of infectious to a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. It's so true that it affects so much more than just us. And yeah, I've loved Stephanie was in the program for a year, too. She just finished like
Yeah.
2 years ago. But it was so fun, yeah, working with both of you and um you guys were going on all those hikes together last summer and doing all that fun stuff together. And that was really cool to watch too. Um, Last question I have for you. What is some advice that you would give to someone who's just starting the program?
Um, I would say don't get caught up in the numbers, but do get caught up in the consistency. And so if you're like, "Oh my gosh, like I didn't improve in any of my weights. They all just felt really heavy today. I can't do any more extra reps today or whatever." It doesn't matter. You checked it off your list. You did it. Like you did that workout.
Yeah,
That's really what matters. And when you're consistent, it adds up quickly. Like right away, you start to notice such a difference. So that would be my advice.
I love it. Yeah, no, that's huge. And consistency is what gets us to where we want to be. And when we can learn to love the process of it, we stop caring about what the end results are. I feel like you've definitely gotten to that point where you're like, I just love doing this. I like my life. I like being a healthy person. I like feeling the way that I feel. I don't care what it turns into. I just like what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's a happy thing. Um, and I know you definitely have seen a lot of results in numbers wise. I think you lost 20 pounds in the first year,
Mhm.
which is a good amount for sure. And you've been able to build a lot of strength within there too. And yeah, lots of progress overall. So super awesome. Thanks for chatting with me, Amy. We love having you in the program, and you've contributed a lot to our little community, and we're all very grateful for you. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I am going to